shit. How I feel about Wentz. How I feel about Jalen Hurts. How I feel about Wentz. And some of y'all probably already said this shit. So a lot of kind of repeat what you said and said in a different way. Then hey, we agree. Alright? But this is how I feel about it. How I feel about Wentz. Now I understand the circumstances and the hand that he was dealt with, right? The playbook, the coaches, the offensive line injuries, the play calling, etc., etc. You know what I mean? I think, all right, one, yeah, I really think Howie Roseman kind of ruined them. Two, if the injuries, you know what I mean? The medical staff with they bullshit, with the neck injury and the leg injury, yeah, could affect his gameplay. The supporting cast around him, like wide receivers, offensive line, running backs, the coaching. Okay, I understand that. You know what I mean? But now that I think more about it, I can't say that he's the only quarterback that's played with the shittier hand. But at the same time, he ain't the only one. Like, and there's other quarterbacks that's playing with their hands that they're dealt with, right? Now, we talk about as far as coaching, a lot of people be like, oh, well, shit, we have Frank Reich. This shit won't be happening. And I said that shit, too. Maybe that is so. Where the fuck is Frank Reich at? You know what I mean? He's with the Colts, right? He got Phillip Rivers. I don't know if he's still playing, but, you got the Colts over there. The way I feel, if, Carson Wentz can't play with any other coach other than Frank Reich, then shit, take your ass with Frank Reich then. Like, what the fuck? He is like, Jalen Hurts is played with the same, playbook offensive scheme. I've noticed that, they're calling more run plays, which is, I'm scratching my head at because I'm like, okay, where's this shit with Carson Wentz and shit? You know what I mean? But where was the run plays where Carson Wentz was starting? Nobody will ever answer that question. I want Doug to answer that question. I don't think he ever will, but fuck it. And the way I feel about Wentz is, okay, yes, shit happens. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Jalen Hurts, he wants to win. I'm pretty sure Carson wants to win. But, when I guess this is the game that we play, you know what I mean? It's like whether you want to be in Philly or anywhere else, you're going to have to play with the same hand that you dealt with, you know what I mean? Should see if Bill Belichick wants you and see, if he will, those overthrows, you know what I mean, holding the ball too damn long. I understand that the pocket collapses. Man, the pocket collapses on Jalen Hurts, bro. Like, real shit. That shit happens, That's football, bro. At the same time, it's like, your decision-making is trash, bro. It's like, come on, man. You got to make better decisions than that, man. And Jalen Hurts, I've seen some of the shit, versus AZ. I've seen some of the shit, like, where I'm like, okay, why are you throwing it over there where, I've seen Alshon Jeffrey open in the end zone quite a couple times. I've seen Zach Ertz wide open. He's just sitting there waving his hands. I'm like, well, why aren't you throwing it to him? He's open. Ain't nobody around him. You know what I mean? And maybe he didn't see him, or, I guess too, because, he's being rushed pretty hard. That's on the offensive line. But the main point is like, come on, man. It's like, what can you say about it? You know what I mean? I don't think, serious shit, are we going to keep blaming the coaches? I mean, Howie Roseman is about to be out. Let's just be real. Howie Roseman is about to be out. Okay, cool. Last season, we wanted to fire Mike Groh. Mike Groh's out. All right, cool. We don't even have an offensive coordinator. Doug is calling all the plays now. You know what I mean? Shit, and you got Dude Staley, too, right there with them. You know what I mean? And a lot of people like to refer to that Super Bowl year, but this is the thing: we had everything. We had Frank Reich, we had DiFilippo. You know what I mean? And Carson Wentz was set. It's like, okay, we don't have them motherfuckers no more. They said Carson Wentz had a good relationship with John DiFilippo. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, shit. This is a business at the end of the day. People won't come and go. You know what I mean? Regardless of the fact. And it's like, okay, you mean to tell me, Russell Wilson, he dealt with the, same injury. I know Tom Brady done torn his ACL quite a couple times. You feel me? Tom Brady don't even fucking run. He's 4 years old. You know what I mean? He didn't really play that. He didn't play that well last season. I don't think so. He's all right this season and shit. His old ass, but he's still able to make plays when it counts and shit. He's still accurate. He can still throw the ball, into the players' hands and shit. Carson Wentz don't have that, man. Overthrowing, you know what I mean? Holding the ball too long. It's like, dog, what the fuck? What the fuck was you doing? This made me feel like Michael Vick and Kevin Kolb all over again. Michael Vick dead ass on the sidelines against Green Bay, like looking at him like, you good? You good out there? You need me to come in? How I feel about Jalen Hurts, bro? I love him, man. I love him, man. I love him. You know what I mean? I said this shit before. Like, even when we drafted him, I'm like, yo, you think it's best for the team, to fuck it then. You know what I mean? I quoted, JR, Jim Ross, he Oklahoma Sooner and shit. He talked a little bit about it. And he was like, yo, Doug Peterson or whoever decided to draft Jalen Hurts, in the second round, you know what I mean? Had to be very smart to do that shit. And, you see how he came out later on in the year and shit, later on in the season and shit. And now look at him. So, if the way I see this, how I feel about it overall, you know what I mean, with Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts seemed motivated to win. He want to win. Fuck it. Bring his ass out there. Let's see more of him. But then it's like, okay, come next season, the next draft, the free agency, the trade market, the salary cap, the player contracts. You know what I mean? Are we going to do the same thing we did to Jalen Hurts that we did with Carson Wentz and not give him no help, not running the ball? Are we going to ruin his career like we did Carson Wentz? Because I think basically that's kind of what the fuck we did. We kind of fuck his shit over. Let's just be real. And that's why I see Howie Roseman leaving. Doug Peterson, in my book, you get a pass, bro. But you can't do the play calling no more, bro. That shit is out, bro. Get an offensive coordinator. As far as Jim Schwartz go, I think he's good. He all right. I'll say give him one more year just to prove himself. But the way he uses his talent, his depth, just to basically, he stopped in. Man, we playing with safeties. Not even corners. We've been playing with safeties. Not just this season. Last season, the season before. And Vontae Maddox and shit. You know what I mean? When he got his first starting job, he was a safety, wasn't he? And then he ended up being a corner and shit. Or Craven LeBlanc. You know what I mean? Jim Schwartz played the hands he was dealt. And then he's still able to produce something. You know what I mean? Produce a defensive energy. Like, yeah, I'll see where we at with it. Let's go ahead and switch this shit up and find a way to stop the ball. You know what I mean? And he's doing it the best way he can. And the way he runs his, defensive line, because our defensive line been a force. You know what I mean? Nobody can knock that, no matter who the fuck is on the line. Derek Barnett, one thing I can say is, man, the fucking penalties, bro. Like, all them damn penalties was uncalled for, but overall, I'm always gonna be confident. Fly Eagles, you know. I like Jalen Hurts, and if you want to win, let him win. Build around him. Carson Wentz. If you want to be a backup quarterback, all I gotta say is stay warm, because you'll never know when your time might come. Hell, Nick Foles was a backup and he won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, you know what I mean? Charlie Batch. You know what I mean? Jeff Garcia. You never know. You know, Aaron Rodgers was a backup quarterback to Brett Favre. Come on, man. Dak Prescott was a backup quarterback to Tony Romo. So, I mean, come on, man. If anything, shit, whether you here in Philly or there, wherever Frank Reich is or wherever you want to be, you know, best of luck to you, man. If you gonna stay here, I'll just say stay warm, stay sharp, get better, bro. Like, serious shit, just take that shit as a learning experience. Like he said, like Jalen Hurts said, it's just a learning experience. Just back to the drawing board. Like, what can we do to win? You know what I mean? And just stay on point, because you'll never know. Apparently, you know, people be talking about, oh, can you stay healthy? You know what I mean? Well, shit, now you got your rest time. You can stay fresh. But mentally, though, be on that playbook and practice. Just be on point, because you will never know, man. It's your time again. You know what I mean? That's the sport. You know what I mean? That's why we got a depth chart. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But then again, who want to keep your contract? And if you want to restructure your contract to where we could make a little bit of room, but more than likely, I think they're going to trade you. Shit, I say trade them to the Broncos. You know what I mean? Get some high picks, trade them to the Broncos, or trade them to the Jets. Trade them to the Jets. I know they need a QB right now. Trade them to the Jets right now. Get that high pick. Anyways, it's my YouTube. Peace.